On Wednesday, March 16, 2022, just 3 days before the one-year anniversary of the murder of 23-year-old Elijah Wood, Oconee County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of Ahkil Nasir Crumpton in connection with Elijah's murder. A day later, on March 17, 2022, Oconee County Sheriff James Hale held a press conference to talk briefly about how this arrest came about. According to Hale, they used the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, aka NIBIN, to compare a shell casing that was left at the RaceTrac gas station with shell casings and weapons found at other crime scenes across the country. In mid-February of 2022, the NIBIN system indicated a match with a gun recovered from another murder that took place on July 17, 2021 in Philadelphia. The Oconee County Sheriff's Department moved quickly, and in cooperation with the Philadelphia Police Department, the ATF, and the FBI, they arrested Ahkil Crumpton in connection with Elijah's murder. Ahkil is also facing weapon charges for the murder that took place in Philadelphia. A huge job well done to the Oconee County Sheriff's Office, the Philadelphia Police Department, the ATF, and the FBI. This was an extremely difficult case to solve, and there was a great deal of public pressure. But they came through for Elijah, his family, friends, and the community. I encourage all my viewers to go over to the Oconee County Sheriff's Office Facebook page and congratulate them on this bittersweet victory. As I pointed out in my detailed analysis video on Elijah's case, the gun the suspect used to kill Elijah was not a revolver. Therefore, a shell casing was ejected. James Hale stated that they had 51 persons of interest on Elijah's case, and none of them was Ahkil Crumpton. This was an extremely fortunate turn of events for law enforcement. Had the suspect not left the shell casing at the RaceTrac gas station, or simply disposed of the gun after shooting Elijah, who knows how long it would have taken law enforcement to track Ahkil down. Ballistic evidence is great evidence, but it leaves a little room for error, and on its own may not be enough to ensure a conviction. However, Oconee County Sheriff's Department have stated repeatedly that they would not make an arrest until they believe they have sufficient evidence to acquire a conviction. And I absolutely believe this is true. On top of this, now that Ahkil's name is out there in connection with Elijah's murder, I believe there are going to be several persons who will be coming forward with information in the coming weeks, helping law enforcement build their case against Ahkil. Ahkil Nasir Crumpton was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He attended Newman Goretti High School, where he played basketball and excelled at football. He then attended LA Valley College in California for a few years, and then transferred to the University of Georgia, where he played as a wide receiver from 2017 through 2018. He remained a student at Georgia through 2021, after his football days were over. I couldn't find any information about why Ahkil stopped playing football for the University of Georgia, and I was unable to track down any injury reports with his name on it. What's most probable is that Ahkil was in his senior year of play in 2018, and was therefore ineligible to continue to play after the 2018 season ended. We do know that at some point in early to mid-2021, Ahkil returned to his hometown of Philadelphia. It's possible he may have fled Georgia immediately after shooting Elijah. Now that there has been an arrest on Elijah's case, and law enforcement move into the prosecution stage, revealing more details and information about Elijah's case may unintentionally assist Ahkil's defense team. For this reason, I will refrain from going over details and information I have discovered about Elijah's murder since the making of my detailed analysis videos 8 months ago. Eventually, this information will come out, but now is not the time. Some viewers have asked me if I believe law enforcement got the right guy. Looking back at the details I revealed about the suspect and the profile I created of the suspect in my detailed analysis videos 8 months ago, it is my opinion that law enforcement have arrested the right person. Ahkil is listed at 5'9" on a few college websites. However, at the college combine, he was measured at 5'7". For those that don't know, the college combine takes precise measurements of just about every physical feature of an athlete, including hand size, arm length, and wingspan. They do this so a college scout can determine if the athlete is just what they are looking for. Often athletes will falsify their height and weight in the media, but the college combine reports are extremely accurate. Ahkil's actual height of 5'7" falls in line with my estimation of the suspect's height being 5'5" to 5'6" in my additional analysis video. Ahkil did have hair braids at the time of Elijah's murder. Here is an image of Ahkil on social media, just a few weeks prior to Elijah's murder. As many of you may recall, I did state in my analysis that I believe the suspect had braided hair at the time of Elijah's murder, based upon what I perceived as braids being visible through the suspect's hoodie. The skin tone of Ahkil is certainly darker than the skin tone of the suspect seen in the surveillance footage. In my detailed analysis videos, I pointed out how the suspect's skin tone may have been lightened when law enforcement attempted to enhance the footage, and that we should consider the suspect's skin tone to be darker than what we see in the images released by law enforcement. In my profile, I had the suspect's skin tone listed as tan to light brown, which is pretty accurate. We can't rule out that the suspect may have applied makeup to alter his appearance, and we must also consider that there is a bright light directly above the door as the suspect entered, which lightened his skin tone even more. I couldn't track down Ahkil's birth date, but based upon the year he graduated high school, Ahkil was 23 to 24 at the time of Elijah's murder. This also falls in line with the age I stated in my profile of the suspect, being a teenager to early 20s. Incredibly, the black and gold battle gloves that I pointed out in my detailed analysis video were precisely the same type of gloves that Ahkil wore in a game while playing at LA Valley College. I'm sure that law enforcement will be using these images of Ahkil wearing these gloves prior to Elijah's murder to bolster their case against him. In addition to the gloves, images of Ahkil on Instagram showed him wearing black boots with lug bottoms that looked just like the black lug bottom boots worn by the suspect in the RaceTrac surveillance footage. Moving on to the million-dollar question. Why would Ahkil Crumpton, who had no criminal record, suddenly commit this horrific crime? As of the making of this video, the motive for Elijah's murder has not been revealed. Law enforcement are adamant that this was a robbery gone wrong, but the behavior of the suspect seen in the surveillance footage that has been released thus far points to this being a targeted attack for whatever reason. However, we must all keep in mind that law enforcement have seen several more minutes of the surveillance footage than we have. I mentioned in my detailed analysis video that it appears the suspect entered the RaceTrac gas station more than once that night. The shortened and poorly edited footage that was initially released to the public shows the suspect entering the store once, immediately shooting Elijah, and then fleeing. This would lead rational thinkers to conclude that this was a targeted attack. If this was a robbery gone wrong, then it's probable that the suspect entered the gas station prior to what we are seeing in the footage. Perhaps there was a confrontation that frustrated and enraged the suspect when he made a demand for money, causing him to initially leave. Then he came back in the store a second time, shot Elijah, and fled, which is what is seen in the footage released to the public, making it appear targeted to viewers who don't have the additional footage for context. I am extremely happy for Elijah's family and friends who finally have some answers and can feel some relief. And while Elijah's family and friends are taking this moment to relax, I am certain they will never stop fighting for Elijah until justice is fully served. On March 19, 2022, family and friends of Elijah gathered in front of the RaceTrac gas station to remember not just Elijah's death a year ago, but more so to remember who Elijah was while he was still alive. If you have any information regarding the murder of Elijah Wood, or any information about Ahkil Nasir Crumpton, please call the Oconee County Sheriff's Office at 706-769-3945. If you don't feel like talking to law enforcement, you can contact me at arrinstoner@yahoo.com. Regardless of who you contact, you can remain completely anonymous.